Hi, welcome Scorpio. Hope that you're doing well. Today we're going to have a look at your messages from now until the end of May. So let's get started. So we're going to start with your current love situation. So let's see, what is the current situation for my Scorpios in the month of May? Spirit, what is the current situation for Scorpios in the month of May? Okay, we've got gifts. There might be some surprise or gift coming to you. Oh, we've got money. So someone might be giving you unexpected money or surprise you with some kind of gift. Now, this also came out for Cancer. So you might have Scorpio and Cancer in your chart, or you might be dealing with a Cancer. So this might be someone who's either got darker feature or darker skin complexion. And they might have children as well, or there might be children involved. What I'm getting is if it's someone that you might have been married to, or have, someone that you shared a family, even if you're not together, someone might be paying you like alimony or child support. If not, this could be someone, taking you out, you to having fun, them buying you things. It could be someone who is wealthy. Now, I'm not saying that that's what that's what's important or that's what you're looking for. But if this person that you're dealing with is doing well, they might be wanting to treat you and, buy you something nice and just, do something nice for you and give you a present. So that's nice. And yeah, so again, we've got fun times. So you might be going to some event, or a party. Maybe this could be this person, if it is something like an important event, maybe they're taking you out to, buy like a nice dress or nice clothes, just so that you feel like you're, like a star. They just want to make you feel special. It's someone professional. I feel like it's someone who's in a leadership position. So, with the money, I feel like they are doing well. So that's a good start. But let's have a look at the tarot, what it tells us. So let's see, Spirit. What is the current situation in love for Scorpio? What is the current love situation for Scorpio from now until the end of May? All right, Scorpio, what's happening in love? So we've got Page of Swords. So there could be some communication. It could be either someone potentially younger than you. It could be someone that maybe wasn't really giving you as much attention, or just, you didn't feel like things were very balanced. You might have felt like, I feel like if this is someone maybe not the most mature person, they could be looking for attention, or they just like attention. They could have a little bit of a manipulative tendencies, but what I feel like is it's not necessarily with a bad intention. I think this is just how the person comes across. Maybe they're not fully aware, or to them it's kind of like being playful. They might be trying to kind of, this is the way they maybe flirt, but to you it might come across as a little bit manipulative. But what I'm getting is they do want to manifest you. They do want to have some kind of a success with you and move forward with you with the Chariot. It could be a Cancer, Gemini, could be earth sign, air sign, fire sign. Let's see. Right, so We're going to have a look to see what are these person's intentions. What is this person's intention with my Scorpio? What are these person's intentions? Spirit, let's see. What are these person's intentions with my Scorpio? Two of Wands. Yeah, so I think this person is planning something. Let's see what they're planning. It could be maybe deciding what actions, what their next action towards you will be. And again, the Page of Swords came out. They might be planning on what they say to you. I feel like they don't want, if it's someone that you've been dealing with or you've, spoken to before, I feel like they don't want things to end. And maybe they came across, because of the way they came across as manipulative, and maybe this is where the manipulation kind of comes from, is where they're just trying to really think about how they're going to come towards you so they win you over. Because with the Two of Cups, I mean, they do want to have something with you. They do feel connection with you. And again, this could be someone in a leadership position. It could be with those children that I've seen. It could be a father figure as well. Or, someone very kind of action oriented with the King of Wands. So that gives me, that could be a fire sign, Aries. And, the thing with the King of Wands is that when they want something, once their eyes land on you, they will do whatever it takes to get you. So this is just a determined person. So what I feel like is this person's just planning and thinking what is the best way to approach you so that they can win you over. They might, I don't want to say controlling, but I feel like they're going to try and control the conversation. But again, it's all just because they want to get to the Two of Cups. So, I feel like this person will not take no for an answer. Let's see, how do you feel about them? I feel like you're holding back a bit. I think there's a bit of hesitancy from your side to open up to them. Because, if you feel like maybe you think, what if this is a player and I don't want to open up fully and be vulnerable. So there's a bit of closed energy. You might even block the person. So maybe you don't want to talk, but definitely keeping your cards close to the chest for now. And this could be maybe the reason why this person is, planning on how to talk to you, because they want to get to know you better, but they feel like you're not really opening up much. But as much as you are closed off, I feel like you are very nurturing. I mean, you are a Scorpio, right? So you are very kind of nurturing, and they know it, they can see it. I think what they're trying to do is, it's like they're trying to figure out a way to crack you open so they can get some of that love and that nurturing from you, that energy. I feel like they want to present themselves to you in a way that you see that they deserve it. So, they have to put some effort in, which, and I feel like they're stressing over that because the Ten of Wands keeps coming out there. And, I mean, you do really make them work for it. So good, let them work for it. Let them prove themselves a little bit, but, don't play them too much. Don't play mind games, because, I feel like all this is coming from a place of a bit of, not overthinking, but they just want to make sure that they do things right. But obviously, look out for any red flags. And if you feel like, you're not ready to open up, or, then don't. But I always say honesty is the best policy, because you can be honest with someone without being too vulnerable if that's something you don't want to do. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. But I want to know, what are they going to do? Spirit, what are they going to do? Since they're doing all this planning. So yeah, if there's been maybe some, maybe not necessarily conflict, but the last interaction maybe didn't go the way they wanted it to. They want to get back into a calmer waters with you. I feel like they, the communication, or there's not really much of it, again, because you might have blocked them and they want to change that. So, they're thinking about how to come towards you in a better way so they can change this. But they do want to take it slow because they understand that you're not one to rush into anything. So they do want to take things slow with you to show you that they can be patient. And maybe that's why, they want to take you out and, show you a good time to, help you loosen up a bit. But, always be careful so things don't get too wild. Yeah, they feel like there's no movement at this point, like to the point that things have just stopped, and they feel a bit hurt by that. Maybe they didn't expect you to block them, or they didn't think that you would be that kind of quick to cut them off. And they want to heal. That they could maybe come and apologize. If they came across maybe too. If they came on too strong, is what I'm getting, and they want to have that kind of communication and a compromise in a way to show you that, if you maybe thought that they were after just one thing, they want to show you that that's not what it is. That maybe, before they came a bit too passionate, too quick, kind of in and out, they might have just got too excited, and now they're realizing they need to slow down and kind of be patient. So that's what they're doing just now. So that's your love message, but let's have a look at your general reading. What's coming in for Scorpio from now until the end of May? Any general messages for my Scorpios for the rest of the month of May, Spirit? Any general messages for my Scorpios for the rest of the month of May? So we've got Repairman. We've got Bonfire. Again, I feel like there's a strong connection with Cancer, because I keep getting the same messages. So again, you're either dealing with a Cancer, or you might be a Cancer cross-watching for Scorpio, or you have both of these strongly in your chart. Let's get you one more. Okay, or two. All right, so we've got Repairman, Bonfire, Universe, and Autumn. So I feel like there might be something that you've recently gone through that either you need time to heal from or recover from. What I'm getting is there's also someone who wants to come in or come back to mend things, to make things right. So if someone has hurt you or someone has done something, some kind of a betrayal, they do want to fix this, and they are aware that that will take time. So they're kind of carefully planning. So again, this is kind of going with the love message that whoever this is that you're dealing with, they're taking their time to come in slowly. And again, if you're not dealing with anyone and this is, and this is you, then don't rush things, take it slow. It takes time. But once you do heal, as you go through the healing, you're gonna upgrade, because there's going to be an old chapter that you've closed, and the things that you used to be attracted to, or you used to attract, will no longer be coming, and it will be something better. So that's always a great message. Healing is really important. So again, I'm getting, if it's someone in the past who came across to kind of fiery, there was maybe a bit of things got a bit heated. There could have been maybe someone with like anger issues, or quick to kind of, if things didn't go the way they wanted, they would just get kind of moody, or it just sometimes people can come across as angry when they just get really passionate about something. And I think this is just something that might have not have been received the way they thought. So now they're realizing, right, okay, I need to calm down and come a bit more kind of balanced energy. So this is what I'm getting. If you're not dealing with anyone, as you go through your healing, you might meet someone, and it will be just something intense, like when you meet, you'll feel the spark. There's just going to be some kind of intense connection, and that could just come out of nowhere. Another thing I'm getting is that what can help you heal is spend time with your friends, do fun things, just kind of, let loose a little bit. Just, there's always things that we need to do. And sometimes we tend to focus a lot on, the daily grind, work and all the things that we need to tend to, focus on yourself, give yourself time to have a bit of fun, to do something that maybe isn't the most practical thing, but you will look back at it always with a smile, do something a bit, a little crazy, but it tells me, that there is a community of people that you will be spending time with, and it will help you heal. It will be very healing for you. And it brings you, it puts you in a better mood, kind of better energy. And with the universe, what I'm getting is that as you go through this, you might have certain conversations with your friends or these people that you meet, and it will open you up in a bit more kind of to more spiritual things, where you will be able to see the bigger picture of things. And it could be through someone sharing their experience, and how someone who might have gone through a similar thing that you are going through, but because it's happened in the past, so they had more time to heal. Now that they're a bit further and they've gained the distance with time and space, and they're seeing things from a different perspective, they might be telling you about this, and that kind of makes you think about these things and what happened in your experience from a different point of view. Like for example, if you've dealt with someone who didn't treat you right, or you've been hurt, you're looking at things like, okay, it didn't work out, but now I see that was a good thing, because I'm protected, and this way I saved myself from a lifetime of abuse or a horrible relationship being unfulfilled, because things were very one-sided, or whatever the situation was. And this will help you again heal, but also kind of see things from a different perspective, from the more kind of universal point of view. You might be going through this, might have even triggered an awakening within you, which can be sometimes a painful experience, most of the times, I think, in a way, because it gets triggered by some kind of negative experience. And this is what, when you're starting to see things and maybe feel things, it might open you up to some new abilities that you're discovering within you that you maybe didn't have before. Again, you're a water sign, Scorpio, so very kind of intuitive. And look, this is actually your card, Scorpio card. So this is what might open you up to these things. So more sensitive, again, more spiritual. That's what I'm getting. And this period could take around 6 to 9 months, but I'm getting that the fall period or autumn, wherever you are, might be significant in some way. It could be the time where you're going to be discovering these new abilities, or these gifts, and start kind of putting them to work in some way. Maybe helping other people. Maybe you learn that what the experience that you've gone through, you can actually help someone else with this, and you might discover your calling. That's something that I'm getting. You become more self-aware. It's the kind of ego death. I feel like it's very self-reflecting period for you, where you realize, you know, what you need to heal, what's caused certain things, you know, the choices that you made. Because ultimately, as I always say, is every bad experience happens for a good reason, because it shines a light on something that you need to heal, so that you don't have to go through that experience again. It's a lesson to learn. If you don't learn the lesson, you know, it's easy to blame others, you know, and not look at your own self. Then you're just going to keep repeating the same lesson until you learn it. And each time it gets worse. I can tell you that the sooner you learn, the easier things get. But, you know, the harder it goes to the point that you learn it. Trust me, you learn it. So, yeah, I think that the period of self-reflection, like I said, you know, is very, very important for now. Okay, so let's have a look at your general tarot messages. Spirit, what messages do you have for Scorpio from now until the end of May? Yeah, there's some kind of big change, something sudden that you're avoiding. We'll see what that is. But whatever it is that might have been hidden is coming to light. Maybe you're avoiding something to come out, something coming to light. Like there might be some kind of truth that you've been trying to hide from someone that's coming out, about something not working. It could be in a workplace or in some kind of connection. If it's a love situation, you might have been avoiding a breakup with someone that you feel like things haven't been working, but maybe you've been, you know, kind of telling yourself, no, you know, there's something else that, you know, is kind of sticking around, because maybe things are not too bad, you know, why leave? I mean, no relationship is perfect, and you're avoiding that tower. But well, I feel like as much as you've been trying to resist it, it's coming out. There's something that's coming out about relationship. And again, if this is a workplace, you know, if you're unhappy in a situation or in a workplace, you might be kind of sticking to it, but there will be something that will be revealed that will kind of change things for you. Like it will cause so much stress and like put you under so much pressure that I think that you're going to think, you know, I was willing to stick it out, but now with this, now I don't know what this is, but we'll have a look. I'll pull a card for that. But there's something that's going to change your mind. Like this is just like with now that this has come out, this isn't going to work. This isn't acceptable. You know, if you've been working hard, there's just been a lot of pressure put on you. But that's something that came out with that moon reversed. That's kind of that now you're seeing that, you know, I just can't stay for this. Like there's no growth in this. You don't feel appreciated. Like this isn't going to do anymore. I feel like you don't see any point in sticking around, or whatever that thing that came out. Just it's something that you're no longer willing to ignore, or you just can't ignore it. Yeah, I feel like whatever this thing was, it felt as like a betrayal. Now I don't know if this is a colleague. It could be, you know, the people that you work with, or maybe you've been promised something that's not coming out, but there's just no success, and now you're being pulled in different directions. I feel like now you're thinking, you know, do I stay or do I leave? But I think that at this point you want to leave. Anything else? So this could be something to do with either not being paid or not being paid enough. If this was like a pay rise or a bonus, something like that, that you're not getting. And you just feel at a loss, and it's put you in like a hardship. There's financial issues, and now you're thinking, well, I wanted to stick it out, but I wanted to stay here, but I can no longer live off this, so I have no other choice because this is just becoming too stressful. You could be having to, work another job or do something where it's just, it's just too much. So yeah, I think you're just looking at your options at this point, and you feel like you've put so much time into this, so much effort, and in the end you don't see the reward. Like, it's just not paying off, and it might need some patience, but I feel like you've been patient enough, and now now there's just a bit, that passion that was there before, that you would put into things, that you're always kind of quick, but now I feel like, don't get too impulsive. Like, think it through. If you feel like leaving, for something better, just make sure that you prepare and that you think it through, and don't make an impulsive decision. But I feel like you're kind of getting into this more like a fuck it, I'll just go and just get a bit more adventurous, but just make sure that you don't do something that you will regret. Just think it through, make a plan, especially if it is leaving a job. Yeah, so with the Queen of Swords, I'm getting this is someone who's logical over emotion. And I think this is the kind of message that I'm getting. Don't let the anger and that kind of the impulses drive you. If there's something that's upsetting because you've put so much work into something, don't let the impulses drive you to the point that you end up putting yourself in the worst position with the Five of Pentacles. So just make sure that you sit with it. You create a game plan of how you're going to proceed, and use your logic. Don't get swept by these emotions. Okay. Take a moment, take a breather if you need to. Okay. And, because Knight of Wands can be a bit hot-headed. So make sure that you cool down before you take the steps. Sometimes things can feel like a good idea in the moment, but then as soon as you do something, and then you had a second to think about it, and you think, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So, okay, if you're thinking about, you just feel like you're gonna walk out of that, job, make sure that you find a new job, and then, hand in your notice. Don't just leave because, that's the kind of pride and ego, but, it would feel great for a minute or two, but then 5-10 minutes later, the panic will start when you're thinking, how am I going to pay my bills now? So, okay, make sure that you think things through, and then you make a plan and be logical about it. Okay. Don't get too impulsive. So that's what I'm getting. And we're going to have a look at your career and finances. Okay. I mean, this was a very kind of career message, but we'll see if anything else comes through Kipper. So Kipper, do you have any other messages, Spirit? I mean, for Scorpio? Any other messages for Scorpio? All right, so you're getting a gift. So starting well. So I feel like somewhere where you didn't feel like you were getting enough, someone is gonna give you something to make you feel, to show you that actually, you are appreciated. Now, if this is a workplace, this could be some kind of maybe, an offer or pay rise, something like that. I'm getting to, if let's say, if it was to do with that work message, you were thinking about leaving, someone might offer you an increase in in your pay to keep you from leaving. Could be. Or you could just, be getting a lot of money, and this could be, in any kind of expected, unexpected way. But it could be, someone could gift you if you're having financial issues. Someone could be kind of supporting you, and it could be someone from whom you maybe wouldn't expect it from. If you were having any issues, I feel like those are going to be improving. So if it's any health issues, you haven't been feeling too well, or you've been really tired, I'm getting that you'll be catching up on your sleep and having a bit more time to relax. With the support and the financial help, or the payment increase or whatever it is, I feel like it was something that stressed you out so much. That it started to have impact on your health. So that's improving now that you're kind of, relaxing, because you don't have to worry about, losing your home or not. How am I going to pay my bills? So now this is kind of putting you in a better mindset and a better state, both mentally and physically. What's the distant horizon? But if it's to do with work, I feel like you might be planning on retiring soon, or in the near future. Maybe you're at that age where now you've worked, or if you're it might not be an age thing. I mean, you could have won the lottery and now you're thinking, well, I don't need to work anymore. I've got plenty of money. I can retire early. So that could be something. Or that's something that you're planning. This is something that you would like to do. You would like to save money, because your goal ultimately is to stop working as early as you can and retire early. I see that that's your plan. Yeah, you want to spend more time with your family. You want to spend more time at home, especially if your job has, taken a lot of your time. Either you're traveling for work, or you have been working overtime, and it's just been. It might have been that the people closest to you might have felt neglected, or even if you're alone, you just want to just spend more time in your own privacy and just have your own space and do the things that you love, and kind of just enjoy yourself and your life, and not have to work as much. So whatever the situation is, I'm getting that you just want to do the things that you enjoy doing in the privacy of your home, or with your loved ones. That's what you're kind of thinking. You could be planning, as I said. So again, this could be a prediction of something that might happen. But sudden wealth isn't always necessarily, like a massive amount of money. It could just be something that's going to improve your financial situation, but in a way that, or an offer that you may receive that makes you consider, is this, if I accept this, is this going to be enough to, is this working towards my plan that I have to retire? Is this going to be enough when I do retire, or is this going to work towards my early retirement plan? So that's what I'm getting. Scorpio, I'm also going to, as a last message, I'm going to give you spirit advice for the month of May. What's the advice for Scorpios, my Scorpio friends, for the month of May? So we've got honor your unique journey, acceptance, gratitude, growth, self-love. So what this is telling me is, if you don't feel like you are where you want to be, or where you thought you would be by now at the age that you are, or whatever the situation is, don't compare yourself to others. Remember, everyone is on their own unique journey. And the important thing is to be grateful for what you have, be appreciative, but also be aware of, see how far you've come. Don't take that for granted. Be proud of yourself for how far you've come. See how much you've grown. you know, if you look at yourself, you know, where you were, you know, 3, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you'll see that although it doesn't feel like you have maybe moved as much, because, you know, you see it every day, it's hard to see that movement. But then when you see that comparison to where you used to be, you know, be proud of yourself for that. And, you know, self-love in this is important because, you know, you want to look at yourself as, you know, everything that's happened, everything you're going through, you're learning, and this is moving you where you need to be. So, and the next message we've got is release any limiting beliefs, release growth, transformation, self-awareness. So again, this is telling me that, you know, again, whatever you felt like, you know, you wanted to do and you told yourself, I can't, you know, I'm not good enough, or I don't feel good enough, or I don't feel like I have what it takes, whatever it is, stop limiting yourself. How you speak to yourself is important. And I can't remember if I said this to you earlier, if this was Cancer. Again, you should watch Cancer if there's a lot of these similarities, if you have either Cancer in your chart or you're dealing with one. Because what I said to them was, don't speak to yourself in a way that you wouldn't speak to your best friend, okay? Because we tend to have a horrible self-talk, yet we would never speak like that to the people that we care about. So whenever you catch yourself being negative, you know, telling yourself that you can't, or you're not good enough, you're not this and that, stop yourself and think, if I was telling this to my friend, would I actually speak like this to them or not? And come from the place of love, the acceptance, you know, of the kind of unconditional love where, you know, you want to be the supportive one. You want to support yourself because you know that, you know, you get much further when you're being kind to yourself, and, you know, when you give yourself that kind of a pep talk rather than criticizing yourself, you know, be your own best cheerleader. Okay. So that's what I got for you today. So again, thank you so much for being here with me. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.